Hey, it's Danny, and we're at the Different Folks Market here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Come with us to see Bria Makes Things and other amazing queer vendors. Hi, Bria.
Hello.
How are you?
Really good.
Hi.
This is my partner, Greg.
Awesome. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So I'm so excited you're here at the Different Folks Market. Is this your first Different Folks Market?
Yeah, it totally is. Yep.
Why did you choose this market?
I was just really excited about all the awesome vendors and artists I knew who were getting involved, and saw a lot about it on social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I would love to be a part of that if I can.
That's so exciting. What's the vibe of this market?
Queer. So
Of
queer.
course, of course.
But yeah, it's been really, I want to say wholesome, honestly.
What is your favorite piece on the table right now?
I would say it's probably some of the newer things I've made. I would say I really love these pins, especially I would say based on the response I've had to them.
Of course.
There have been a lot of people that have expressed feeling really grateful that I made them, but also, yeah, I think my art as well. I feel like I always come back to this piece, which, yeah, very affirmational, but also just reminds us to take care of not only ourselves, but also others and around us, like our family, chosen family.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So Bria, your favorite piece here, how long does it take you to make this?
I would say I usually kind of make them as a batch.
Okay.
So it's kind of tricky to be able to tell, but I would say probably realistically about maybe 2 hours, because it's a matter of drawing it, especially thinking about the pin, for example. The arch would be a lot longer.
Of course.
Could sometimes take up to months.
So do you make all of this in your house?
Yes, yeah. Or in my apartment, usually at my desk or in my living room. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. You're so talented.
Thank you. Would you like to come see where I make everything?
I would love that.
Amazing. Have fun looking.
Thank you.
So I'm actually the founder of Different Folks. We are a new market company. We started in 2023, and we aim to create accessible markets for all underrepresented groups, including queer people, people of color, multicultural markets, and pagan assemblies, things like that. Basically all underserved groups that we found in the craft market world. I did start as a vendor, so that's kind of how we found out. Yeah. So one of our big things at Different Folks is we say, essentially Halifax is a white, hetero, cis space in general, just by who lives here.
Yep.
So we want to create spaces that are representing a different aspect of Halifax culture, and basically get people to come to a space that's dominated by something other than the norm. So whether it's a multicultural market or a queer market, they come in and they experience kind of queer culture. So we've hired all queer performers, we have all queer vendors. I myself am queer, so we try and run it through and make it a full experience for everyone. We also try and offer performances and things like that in spaces without alcohol, so that it's family friendly and people can approach the drag queens or performers.
This is so cool. There's props.
Yeah, so we try and have a really fun, relaxed, kind of happy vibe throughout our markets. The queer markets are especially great for that. Everyone is so happy and upbeat.
So welcoming.
Yeah, and they're all so excited to have a queer space like this. So it's really great that way.
Hi, Rhonda and Zen. How are you today?
We're good.
How are you? Good, thank you. So, what brought you guys to Different Folks Market today?
Answer that? We saw it advertised. I think I saw it on Facebook, and we're always looking for events where I can kind of get my teenager out of the house because the house isn't a spot.
So you're a cool mom.
Absolutely, do my best. So again, trying to bring them to places where they feel seen and recognized. And what a better place.
Of course. Do you feel welcome when you kind of came this morning?
Yeah, for sure. I love being at places where I can get a bunch of LGBTQ stuff, and I also love supporting small businesses too.
We're grabbing cards along the way.
Oh, of course.
So that we can make our online purchases.
Yeah.
So
it's really overwhelming when you're kind of you see so much and you want everything. So it's good to just go home and think about it for a second.
We're gonna make a walk through.
This is probably my favorite pin.
Oh my goodness. gosh, that's a pen?
Yeah.
That's so neat.
It's a trend decor.
Oh my gosh. That's so cute.
I love it.
That's beautiful.
It's a coconut-based candle, where we also do lip balm. We also do body butter,
Oh wow.
mist sprays, a wide variety of stuff, right?
Yeah, that's wonderful. Why did you choose this market?
The coordinator, Kayti, I've done a lot of markets with her, and she also hosts like a variety of different kind of markets, from like pride to multicultural,
Yeah.
so on, right?
Yeah.
And she does a pay as you can kind of thing, so it helps people that can't afford the market.
Yeah, it offers a different opportunity
Yes.
for people to get their products out there.
Yes.
Welcome to my apartment. This is where I do and make all the things.
It's so cozy and it's just full of talent and creation, and what a lovely space.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How did you kind of start artwork? Where did it begin?
I feel like realistically I would have started as a kid. I did a lot of doodling and drawing on kind of anything I could. I feel like my grandmothers were also really supportive of me being creative too. But then also just crafting a lot too. Made a lot of shrinky dinks when I was a kid too,
Really?
which I still do. Went back to that in recent years. When I got into high school, taking high school art, really, I feel like I had really supportive teachers that influenced me a lot to be like, this is actually something you could pursue. And I didn't go to school for it, but just, having people in my life tell me those things and encourage me to keep drawing and stuff. And then living on my own when I got a lot older, I feel like I started to use drawing and painting and just making things, even cooking creatively, honestly, as a way to for mental health, self-care.
Of course.
I feel like that is kind of what really took over and propelled me to do it more and start finishing things and actually start creating pieces too.
Kayti, how many vendors do you have at the market over the last 2 days? Is it the same from day to day, or is it different?
So we have the same vendors both days, with the exception of a few new ones each day, but for the most part, there is about 70 vendors here today that include some not-for-profits, some queer-owned businesses, and mostly, I think, about 65 makers as well.
Wow. So do you reach out to them? Do they reach out to you? Is it word of mouth? How do you kind of get those people in here?
So for our application process, we mostly focus on our website and on Instagram, and we put out the application forms about 2 months in advance. For this one, we put them out 4 months in advance.
Oh, wow.
And then we do our selection, and everybody's notified within a month and a half of the market opening because we want them to have time to make stock.
Of course.
You can find information about this market and all of our markets, Different Folks HFX on Instagram or through our website, differentfolks.ca.
Beautiful. Different Folks, is that your first market that you've ever done, or?
Not the first market that I participated in, but it was the first Different Folks market that I've done. I feel like that is definitely the first market that I've done that has been prioritizing queer vendors, or not even prioritizing, actually centering them. And also fully queer run, photographers were queer, performers were all queer. It was really beautiful.
It was beautiful. I loved it. What is it like setting up for a market like Different Folks?
Yeah, that was actually that market ran pretty smoothly for me, luckily. Usually for a market, I'm lugging all my things, but this time I had a beautiful wagon that I got myself to save my back.
It was very accessible.
Yeah. Also the venue was really good as well. So for Different Folks, I was able to use my wagon and I have a tote that's just full of all my different bags of different products, because as you know, I make many different things.
You do.
I have that and got to just wheel it in. Luckily there was a ramp, and I do have migraine disability and back issues, so it meant a lot to me that it was able to bring all my stuff in really easily, and there were people available to help also if I needed
that was
it.
wonderful.
Make sure that you're taking care of everyone who is in this room, okay? Can I make a promise? This next song I'm gonna sing, does anyone like musicals here?
Can you tell me a little about what brought you here to this market?
Yeah, so they reached out, which was really exciting, and I'm just gonna be performing, which is really fun.
Just performing, you
I
know,
know.
just that's wonderful.
Gonna sing a little,
Yeah,
that kind
that's
of fun
wonderful.
stuff.
Do you normally perform at markets?
No, to my knowledge, this is pretty rare,
Yep.
I think, but it's kind of cool.
It's
like a
so
nice
unique.
little mix.
Is there like something that makes this market different than other markets?
I think the queerness of the market is really exciting because it's very easy. It's somewhere you can go during Pride Month and actually support queer businesses directly.
Do you think that this market is important for the queer community?
I think it's super important. I think places where queer artists can just kind of express themselves, be celebrated within their own community, and kind of highlight that community is really important, just because we're so often discriminated against and kicked out of things like this. So being
And
able,
underrepresented.
Yeah. So being able to have a full room of like queer-friendly, queer-safe, queer artists doesn't happen often, and it's like wonderful to see.
Is this your first Different Folks Market?
No, so I've been coming to the Different Folks Markets, I think, for about 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I know you've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, a long time. My favorite part about these markets is the focus on like inclusivity and accessibility.
Yeah.
So there's definitely lots of markets where anyone can be a vendor and it's open for everybody, all aspects of the community. But Kayty's really great at choosing, different specific markets to uplift different voices and different community members. Yeah.
Ali, what makes this market different for you as a vendor?
I would have to say that I don't have to censor myself or curate the artwork that I put out when I do this market. I find sometimes when I'm doing other markets in different places, I'm more cautious about the artwork that I put out and how it's going to be interpreted. And as an artist and a vendor, I really don't want to have to do that because like we were saying earlier, your artwork is very much an expression of your authentic self. And here I find I can definitely be my most authentic self because the demographic that comes here are like so fully supportive of you just being you and whatever that brings to the table.
This is my studio.
It's so interesting. There's so many different things.
So much stuff, honestly. Like I said, because I make so many different things, there's many tools for many mediums.
I love that.
Yeah, this is, I would call like my little headquarters. I make them on what's called shrink plastic. So it's a certain kind of plastic. I believe it's like called number 6 plastic. And then when you apply heat to it, it shrinks and becomes like hard. Like it's very bendy and flexible now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it becomes this hard thing. So to reinforce it, I also add resin on top, as you can see here. That's why it's like really shiny and
It's beautiful. Okay, I'm excited. So how does it feel to know that your art resonates with other people?
honestly, it's still surreal when I get to hear like feedback about that, but it feels really special because I feel like that's a lot of the point. It's like expressing a lot of what I'm struggling with or what I need reminders about, if it's like an affirmation piece or, yeah, that means a lot when people share with me what stuff means to them or what a memory it brings up also, because I feel like I make a lot of stuff that's like nostalgic too.
Different Folks itself tries to be as accessible both physically and materially as possible. So we always pick accessible venues to the best of our ability. We list out the accessibility needs for the public to know. We also offer pay what you can tables to our vendors.
Oh my goodness.
So they're basically, since we're reaching an underserved group who's often underemployed or something like that, or our target kind of vendors, it makes it easier for them to try and get into the market business. They can get some test grounds under their feet, make sure it's going to work for them. And then also, if you just don't have the funds available, we don't want you to not be able to sell your goods.
That's so exciting.
We try and do like quite a number at each market that are pay what you can.
Do you get volunteers or do you employ people to come and work at the market, kind of front-facing?
So we have volunteers, especially at big markets like this. Normally at our smaller markets, it's just me and maybe one other person. But today we have like 5 volunteers with us. Norm's Niche is helping us out doing the emceeing. We've got a couple of our friends who are other vendors that are not queer helping us run the doors and things like that. So we have a really good, solid community, and they're always open to helping us when we need it, luckily, and we're very appreciative for them.
It's cool to do it with somebody here, actually, because I'm usually just like a little goblin, very close to it. Usually,
I've never seen something like this ever, so I'm very, very excited. This is such an interesting process. I think like my favorite part is you actually do each one of these by hand.
Yeah, I really like the process also, actually. Like, it's very meditative.
Oh, 100%.
Maybe not it wouldn't be probably if I had like a time constraint, but.
It's very relaxing.
I am absolutely obsessed with your table.
Oh, thank you so much.
Can you tell me a little bit about your ghosts?
Absolutely. So I'm Little Ghost Designs. I just started fairly recently making kind of art and jewelry. I make ghost terrariums. So I make little homes for ghosts.
I love that.
Thank you so much. I make kind of glow-in-the-dark ghosts. They're little pendants mostly, but I like to do keychains with skulls.
So is this your first Different Folks Market?
No, we've done quite a few, probably 3 or 4 different folks.
Okay.
It's one of our favorites. It's a really, really good one.
Fun.
Yeah.
What makes this different from other markets?
It's, I mean, it's kind of right there in the name. Like, it's just like, we're very quirky people. Like, we're not always good at, like, finding places that we fit in. And, like, here it's like, you're going to hit it off with every single person. Everyone's so fun.
Everyone's been
like,
so nice.
Fully themselves. Yeah.
I can't help but look at the colors. These ones are obviously the pride.
Yeah, so that little rainbow.
That's so beautiful.
And then over here we have a trans flag with the lesbian flag.
Oh, I love that.
So it's fun, yeah.
Yeah, bringing so much personality into them. I love it.
And all of the colors have different flavors in them to like make it even more fun.
Oh, I love that. Can we buy a box? Thank you so much. Oh my God, you're so good.
I saw the call for applications, pretty sure it would have been Instagram. And then there was like a Google form that was really simple to fill out.
Does it cost anything?
There was a table fee for that market. I was fortunate I applied under the pay what you can. There's a pay what you can option for some vendors, so the different folks just determined based on who applied who got to be chosen, and I was lucky enough to be chosen for that event. Just made it possible for me to actually do it.
I'm sure that helps a lot of people.
Big time. Yeah, just reducing those barriers is really important.
100%.
Yeah, especially for queer-owned businesses too, because I feel like there are many self-employed queer people that do it also out of survival, of course, trying to pay their bills and not have to work for somebody that oppresses them or discriminates against them or judges them for who they are.
How often does the Different Folks Market happen?
So we host markets approximately once a month. They're all different themes though. So we have queer markets probably 3 times to 4 times a year.
Oh wow.
And so we have a big one in June because it's Pride Month, and this is our first 2-day market.
Oh wow.
So we're very excited to hope people come out both days. And so we're trying to grow the queer market to have a good position that we can do it yearly and keep this kind of atmosphere going. But we do have another one in April, and we have another one had one in April, and we have one in December.
Oh wow.
And then we also have we had a multicultural market in April.
And I did see that. That looked wonderful.
And we have a lot of other markets coming up through July. We're having a open to all waterfront market.
Oh wow.
And then we have a pagan or magic and mystery market in September, Halloween market. So yeah, we try and get something close to every month.
I love that. And something for everyone.
Yeah.
I love that.
And we also run social activities.
Oh, can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so we run, first started off as Queer and Allies Craft Nights. So we still do those. They're kind of like workshops and just making crafts and kind of coming together. We also do vendor meetups, so people that maybe haven't vended with us before that have questions, or if people want to come just talk about what we're doing and what they can do with us. We provide snacks, we go to like drinks, you know.
That's so cute.
We had a bowling night, so we just try and kind of engage our community to come together a little bit more.
Hi, Bria. How are you?
Hi. Really good.
How has your day been?
Good. Really, really nice. I've been working on the table and got to meet some nice people today.
Oh, that's so sweet. So, do you have any interesting stories about today or this weekend?
Not really for today. I've mostly been working on some extra art things, but I had a really cool experience watching the performer from yesterday, who's Addison Locke. He shared a bit about like his journey to coming out and just his experience as a performer and coming into working on his own terms, and it was really beautiful. It made me very emotional.
What a nice experience. I feel like this market really just covers it all.
Honestly, yeah.
So, can you tell me about Teardown? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, so later, luckily my partner will come to help me, but for me, it mostly just looks like, again, like method to my madness. Because I have so many different things, they all have their particular bags they go in. Yeah, exactly. And at the end, I just have to fold up all my things and put them in my lovely wagon that saves my back.
That's so beautiful.
It's now. Okay. We got to shrink it.
Nothing's happening.
Not yet.
So it just automatically gets the same size as all of them?
And you can see it's like flattening more and more the longer I hold the heat. And then as a last step, I just always press it just in case.
This is crazy.
These buddies get glued on and then resin gets put on top, but it's very, you need like a mask for me to do the resin, so. So we don't breathe in toxic fumes.
I love that. It's so wonderful you're providing such an opportunity for everyone to come together and to kind of create awareness.
Yeah, we're really excited that it seems to be growing very quickly, and we've had a lot of support. We're very lucky.
You must be so proud. Like you did this. Like
yeah, it's so amazing to me that it came together like this. But honestly, it's the vendors, it's all the people that come here with like positive attitudes and really try and like make the space the best they can.
You still need to give yourself a little pat on the back too, because this is so wonderful. And every single vendor we've spoken to has really kind of radiated the fact that you brought them together, and I think that is so beautiful, and it's so recognized. Well, it's good to hear, because everybody is saying you're just like the most wonderful person, so I really hope that you're giving yourself a pat on the back too, because all those vendors in there, they really appreciate you.
Awesome. Yeah, we're really hoping that they all do well with sales this weekend and that everybody is successful and can really make the most of the opportunity.